Hello and welcome to this episode of Microchips and the refurbishment of this very poorly International Multimode II front that I scrounged from a friend for an upcoming video. So don't forget to like and subscribe to catch that video. So as you can see, this front is in quite a bad way, but it's a front and we can make it look a lot better than that. It's dinted, paint scratched, the actual plastic work is in bad way, but we can fix all that. So first off, we need to try and get this metal work off, and normally this metal work just drops off, and of course we find that it's been super glued on, which is going to cause us a whole heap of hassle. But with a little bit of gentle perseverance, a bit of alcohol, some plastic pry tools, we managed to break it and actually get it off. But as you can see, it's really hard. I'm trying my best not to bend the front metal work too much, but eventually it does give. And just gently with some alcohol and the pry tool. I don't think alcohol does much to super glue, to be honest, but we'll put it in there anyway. See if it'll help it just bring it off. And as you can see, with a bit of gentle persuasion, we do actually manage to get this metal work off. Still trying not to bend it in any way or put any unnecessary bulges in the metal work. But again, this top corner has been well super glued in. I've got to say that this was probably the hardest front I've ever had to take off, due to the amount of super glue in it. But we just have to be gentle and prise it bit by bit, just find its weak points and just keep on prizing. So as you can see, a whole heap of hassle because of the super glue. But eventually we get it off. Okay, it's a bit bent, but we can flatten it. It's only aluminium. But the front needs a good wash. So we'll strip out the channel display plastic work and the highlight. We'll take that out and we'll give it a good wash. Get rid of all the dirt and grime. And then we'll start to work on actually removing some of this old super glue. So we're just using a flat scalpel for this. We just got to go around and just chip off all the old glue and the super glue that was on it. Because we want to make the surface as flat as possible. So we'll give it a going over with some foam cleaner and a toothbrush. And then we'll give it a wash in the sink to get rid of any final grime that's on it. So yeah, it's not pretty, but it'll be fine. The front's flat now, but we just have to deal with this plastic work around the outside. But we've done that before, so that won't be a problem. So yeah, it's pretty much, it's damaged a little bit round where the clarifier is, but there's nothing we can do about that. So we've managed to flatten out the front as best we can. So we'll give it a clean. It's looking better already. We just need to get rid of a bit of that off the back as well. So what we'll do is we'll rub it down, and we'll rub down some of the high points on the front now, using a flat block, some water. It doesn't matter about the actual front paintwork because we're going to be putting a decal on it, so this is just to get it as flat as possible so we can actually see what we're working with. I've seen some decals that have been put on where they've just basically slapped it on an old front, and yeah, it looks terrible. If you're going to use one of these decals, at least try and flatten the front out a bit, because if there's any blemishes on the front, it will come through the decal and you will see it. So all we have to do is basically water, rub, and see what we're working with. Now we're a little bit better, but we've still got dints. A small crack there that we're going to have to fill in. Got lots of dints and dings around the metalwork, but we've got something that will fill that in, so that's fine. It's just going to take a bit of extra work. So we'll just assess where all the damage is that we need to correct. So rub down the outer edges, and we're going to use some of the dissolved putty to start filling in the damage. Try and make it as flat as possible, so we don't have to use a lot of this, because the more we put on, the more we have to remove. So I'm just looking for where the damaged areas are, and we're just going to put this dissolved putty in and then leave it overnight and then rub it down. This process does take a few days to complete, but I think the results are good when it's done. So I've been over it, filled in all the holes, all the dings, so we'll just leave that to set. Now I've rubbed down the plastic work. As you can see, it looks better already. But we're going to take it and give it a spray with some acrylic, black acrylic paint. And whilst that's up in the spray, we can deal with this. So I'm just feeling it, see if we can feel any imperfections. Any imperfections, I'll just pop a little bit more of the dissolved putty, let it set, and then rub it down again. I know it doesn't look good now, but it actually feels nice and flat. And it's pretty straight. So I think that's the best we're going to get it. So I did find a couple more blemishes I wasn't happy with. So I'll put a little bit more dissolved putty on it. We'll let that dry out and we'll rub it down again. So finally we get to a point where we can actually spray it, and this is just simple Just going to be both sprayed black. And there they are, both been sprayed black with a bit of clear coat on them just to protect it. And as you can see, the actual metalwork now is looking a lot better. Now it's actually sprayed in uniform colour. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. So we've fitted a decal from our friends over at Print Extreme, who have modified this decal for the 10kc, 5kc and the 5 bands. And we just used a little bit of black marker to get rid of the white edges. And on this one we're going to be using double-sided tape to stick it down, as this seems to stick quite nicely. And we don't have to worry about the glue seeping out the edges. So we're taking all the backing off the double-sided tape. This is 3M tissue tape. It's very, very sticky. And once we put it on, just put it under some weights and we'll leave it. And there's our front. Just needs a couple of little touch-ups here and there just to get rid of a couple of bits of white. But all in all, a good job. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, join the Facebook group, and we'll see you in the next video.